How would you like to learn a 5-step formula that can give you a deep understanding of how to transform your serve? Well, in today's lesson, I'm going to show you exactly what those 5 steps are. Hi, my name is Jeff Salzenstein. I'm the founder of Tennis Evolution, one of the leading online tennis instruction websites in the world. I'm a former top 100 ATP player and absolutely passionate about helping players with their games, especially with their serves, because it's one of the most misunderstood shots in tennis, and I want to get into those 5 steps right now. So I'm going to look at these 5 steps, and the first step has a lot to do with the first move. Now, this is a student that I personally work with. He's a very gifted player. He's going to play college tennis at some point in his career. I like his stance. I think he could get a little bit more weight back on the back foot a little bit earlier, but I do like his stance. He's in a platform stance. You can see that it's staggered. There's a lot of space between the heel of the front foot and the toe of the front foot. And so step number 1 is about the first move. I call this a delayed first move. What you'll notice is that when he releases the ball, there's no turn in the shoulder at all. So the shoulder stays in this position, and then now he starts to turn. I call this delayed first move. And he finds his trophy position, but what ends up happening, and I'd like to see him consider improving this. Now, he's serving bombs right now, so I've been hesitant to make a big change in technique. As a coach, you have to decide when to make the changes and if it's worth it. But in this particular situation, he's been serving big, so I haven't really wanted to make the change. But his first serve percentage is on the lower end, and because of this delayed first move, you'll see that when he finds trophy position, his tossing arm is already starting to drop. You'll see this in some pro athletes, pro tennis players, where they get to this trophy position, and this arm is already dropping. I prefer to have, right when the arm gets up straight, I like to see this racket in the trophy position. So he's a little late to the party, and this is one area that he could consider improving. Now, the next step that I want to talk about is his back foot. Now, you can see that we lose a little bit of his back foot as I move the phone up, but you'll see he's loaded into his back leg here. Now, when he goes to drive down, and it's hard for you to see, but he doesn't really push off of this back leg very well. He's not getting a huge push. Now, this could be happening because his stance is a little bit wide. He might want to bring his foot closer, but there also may be a limitation in his ankle dorsiflexion, being able to push off of his foot and drive into the ground. I'm going to show you an example right now of me serving and how I push more from the back leg. All right, so you can see here that I'm really driving into my back leg. Yes, my heel is off the ground, but it's not off the ground as much as this player right here. And so I'm able to drive off of that back leg a lot more. And I feel like he shifts more to the front foot and doesn't get as much push from the back leg. So that's area number 2 that he could refine. Remember, it's all about the details. And as the serve surgeon, I find the details, and then we start closing the gap on areas of improvement. Real quick, if I go back to my first move in that first step, you'll notice that as I release the ball, look at the turn in the shoulders. You'll see that in Federer as well. You don't see the turn of the shoulders here. So those are 2 big areas before contact that can make a huge difference. Now, let's continue further, and I want you to notice something here. There's a little bit of a curve in the low back right there. So his hips aren't loading as well as they can. And I find that this is something that needs to be corrected with corrective exercises off the court. If you compare it to my serve, I've got more coil, more turn, and more load as my hip shifts forward a little bit. And you can see there's a little more squatting here. I mean, he does a pretty good job, but he still could improve this area of getting this pelvis in a better position. Like I said before, this will be improved with off-court and static type exercises. This is not necessarily a technical cue that you can give. Now let's look at the fourth area of improvement. So you see him go up to the ball, and I call this back side of the body here, call it bowing. Now you can see his body is fairly straight. If you draw a line here, it's fairly straight. I want you to compare it to my serve here. Look at the bowing that you see in the body. There's more of a bow shape or a rounded shape if I trace my body here, and this is more upright, straight up and down. And so you'll see this with a lot of players that have restricted movement in their thoracic spine, in their mid back, and if they're not using their glutes as well as they could. So this is another area that can be improved with off-court training. That's area number 4 that we're mentioning today. Now, I want you to notice the landing. Notice where his foot position is. Notice where his heel is and his toe on his front foot. And notice how far he jumps to the left. I think he could actually move back to the right a little bit and land in this area. So for me, I feel like the energy is fading a little bit left instead of going up and landing more in this area right here. So when someone jumps, they should jump a little bit left and land about right where my arrow is. Let's compare it to my serve here. Notice where the heel is. Let's see where I go. And you can see I just go up straight ahead, okay? So these are 5 big steps that can help a player serve at a higher level. Now, why don't we take a look at a little bonus footage here, a side view, and see what we can pick up from his serve from the side. We've covered the delayed first move. We've covered the inability to load the back leg as well. And listen, I'm being picky, but I want this player to have a world-class serve. We've talked about the S curve in here. We've talked about the bowing and how that can be improved, and the landing. So let's go over and take a look at a side view. So here we have a side view here, and you can see again, there's not a lot of turn as the ball is released, not a lot of movement yet. The movement comes later. So now you're gonna really see from the side how there's not a lot of load in the back leg. You can actually see, we just call this a collapsed knee. See how that knee collapses in? We want to change that. We want to improve ankle mobility. We want to improve hip stability. And we want to get that serve. I love his hand position, by the way. We want to get those legs and those feet driving off the ground in a more efficient way. That's a great position. That's a great landing. You can't really tell if he's going, you can see he's going a little bit left. But the thing that we want to point out here is how he's not able to load the back leg the way that he could. And if he can improve that, then his serve is going to go to another level. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I had a blast making it. These are the subtle details, the attention to detail, where I want to show you how you can improve your serve by understanding what to look for. And so with you, if I pointed out 5 things today, I bet there's one thing that you can improve in your serve, and that's what I want for you. And so in order to take the next step on your journey to improve with me, and if you want to keep understanding the nuances and the attention to detail, you're going to want to click the link below or somewhere in this video, because when you do, you're going to get access to free membership. And we've got 21 lessons for you, absolutely free, no credit card required. It's the next step in your journey, and you can improve all aspects of your game when you get access to this free membership inside the Tennis Evolution app. So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I'm super passionate about helping you with your serve and the rest of your game, and we'll see you at the next lesson.